Alright, so the story for The Call follows Halle Berry's character Jordan, who is a 911 call responder, which is, if you don't know, if you call 911, you'll get one of these people. It won't be a cop, it'll just be a regular person pretty much that talks you down if you're angry or if you really have a big situation that's going on. Then they'll send an ambulance or cops or whatever you really need. So that's pretty much what they are. You know, they just organize it in a way. So she plays one of these people, and she's, I guess, a veteran at her job. They don't really explain how long she's been working there, but it doesn't matter anyway. Because one call happens in this film right in the beginning where a girl, about 15, 16, says that there's someone breaking into her house. And Halle Berry's, this is where you kind of see that she's kind of a veteran because she's telling her, oh, trick the dude by pretend that you already left the house, but actually hide under the bed. And it's actually working out. The dude's about to leave thinking that she's gone. And of course, the phone gets disconnected and she makes the dumb decision to call her back, and of course the ringing of the phone brings the dude back and the girl gets kidnapped, and Halle Berry feels pretty bad about it. And she feels even worse, I think, a couple days later. Guess what happens? They find the body of that girl, she's dead, and Halle Berry is devastated. The movie then skips 6 months later, and she is now not a 911 call responder anymore. She's actually a teacher for rookie 911 call responders. Until the kidnapper slash killer strikes again, of course. And this time he takes a 16, 17-year-old girl played by Abigail Breslin. And luckily Abigail Breslin still had a phone with her, so she calls 911. Jordan decides, you know what, I'm going to take this one, I guess to, I don't know, make things right or something. I don't know. But she decides to take it, and of course she's trying to talk her down, trying to find out ways to get her out of that trunk because she's locked in a trunk, if I didn't mention that before. And pretty much most of the movie is just her trying to find a way out. I mean, her trying to find a way to get her out of there, trying to find a way to find her, and of course get this guy before he kidnaps and kills more people, because it is the same person. We already know that, but the characters don't know that. So the story here is pretty good. I actually have to admit, I am very surprised because I thought the story was going to be very cliched and very just monotonous in a way, and in parts it was, but you know what? There's a lot of suspense in this film, which really works out for it. And you know what? The characters, while there's not that many of them, I kind of like them. Halle Berry is great here, and I'm so happy to see her back in good movies because it's been a little while, I feel like. I can't even remember the last movie where she was... Oh, Cloud Atlas. Oops. Sorry. But I can't remember the last movie she headlined where she was the star, and she didn't really headline that, so... I'm still right. So she's really good in this film. She is. You really do care for her character. You can tell the emotions on her face. Most of the time she is talking, but there is a part later on in the film, which I will admit I didn't really like, where she does get into the action. And I'm not really spoiling that. It's in the trailer, so I'm sorry. The trailer spoiled it. I'll spoil it a little bit too. I'm not going to tell too much though. But and when she's on the phone, she's talking to this girl, trying to calm her down. It's actually pretty good. She does a damn good job. And the writing here is actually pretty tight as well. I really like Abigail Breslin in this too. I haven't seen her since friggin' probably Little Miss Sunshine, maybe something else. But it felt like friggin' years since I saw her. And I thought she was a great actress in Little Miss Sunshine. And she's grown up, let me tell you that. I don't know if she's legal, so I'm going to stop talking about her. But she's really good. She is really good in this film. Who else? Oh, Michael Eklund, who plays the killer. No spoiler there. Really, there's no twist about the killer. Sorry if that's a spoiler. And I really like his character because he's not that real methodical type villain where he's like, oh, thinking of everything. No, he's kind of stupid in parts, especially the part where he lets Abigail Breslin have a phone, where he didn't even check her. He just throws her in a trunk. Didn't even think that a 16-year-old girl would have a phone. Duh. But, he's not the smartest guy, but, he's definitely crazy, and he's great in the role. Morris Chestnut plays I can't remember his character's name, but he's, pretty much plays actually, not pretty much, he does play Halle Berry's boyfriend in the film, and he's a cop, and he comes into play a little bit too, of course, because he's a cop. So, for the most part, the acting is really good here, from everybody, but I really like Halle Berry and Abigail Breslin in this film. And like I said, this movie is very suspenseful, it really is, but the thing is that if you saw the trailer for this film, then a lot of it is spoiled with sad. That's really sad to say, but there's a lot of suspense that is spoiled here because I wouldn't have known this or this would happen, really, because if I didn't see the trailer and I just went in blind, I'd be like, I would have been surprised. I really would have. But because the trailer spoiled a lot of that stuff, I was like, I knew that was coming. I mean, they did a good job of it, but if I didn't see it in the trailer, I probably would have thought it was great. But there's a whole 50-minute sequence. Yeah, like, this movie's not very long, but it felt like maybe 40 to 50 minutes long, where it's pretty much Abigail Breslin and Halle Berry talking on the phone. And it's probably way shorter than that. It's probably like 30 or 40 minutes. But it's a long sequence of them just talking on the phone, trying to get her out of that car, trying to, you know, make it so that everybody else can see her and help her out. And there's a lot of really screwed up stuff that happens there. But again, they spoil that stuff in the trailer. But I really like the suspense. I really like that whole sequence with the call. I really do. I mean, the movie's called The Call, and I really like the call. Let's just say that. And if I had to say anything that's really bad with it, again, they kind of spoiled a lot of stuff with the trailer, which I can't really give. I can't give the movie crap for that, but I have to give the people that made the trailer crap for that. But there is another thing that's actually wrong with the film. One, I did not like the last 15 minutes, even though I really liked the ending. I thought the ending was like, yeah, that's right. There's a whole 15-minute sequence where, of course, like I said, Halle Berry gets into the action, where I'm like, no, it was really working with the call portion. They just kept with that, but they didn't, and it felt really horror-ish. It felt like a typical horror ending where, of course, Halle Berry had to go into the den, pretty much, of the killer, and it was just really typical. But besides that, I really liked the movie a lot. I thought it was really suspenseful. The writing was really good. The acting was great. Halle Berry was great in this film. She was a really likable character. So overall, I'm going to give The Call, you can tell my voice is starting to go, I'm going to give The Call I'm gonna give it a 33 out of 40. I really enjoyed it. And when that ending happened, I fist pumped. I was like, yeah! So overall, there you go. There's my review for The Call. It was actually good, and I was not expecting that at all. So there you go. Thank you and goodbye.